Hello, and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn, and this is the October reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. So I'm going to pull a 5-card spread using the Grand Lenormand Oracle deck to kind of read the energy for this month for you guys, Capricorn. And we got one more card that we want to come out. There we go. Okay, so this month at the center of your reading is the death card. I feel like my camera needs to come up a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Okay, is the death card, right? Okay, is the death card. The death card, the coffin, is obviously an indication of death. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to die, but it does mean that there's something that is being mourned. Maybe you're mourning a loss of something. It could be a relationship. With the ring card here, right next to it, it looks like the mourning of the loss of a relationship, or you might have lost a contract for a job. With the Fishes card here, the Fishes card is about money, wealth, and finances. So it feels like the death or loss could be loss of employment or some sort of contractual agreement that you might have had that will be affecting your finances in some way. Some of you, there is a sense of nervousness with the Birds card here. The Birds card is an indication of nervousness, nervous energy. This might be something that you're fearful of. So you might be fearful of your finances going left or not being able to provide for a spouse or your household in general. I feel like there is some confusion for you right now. With the Clouds card, there is a sense of confusion, of things not necessarily being clear. So it might feel like for you, there are some things that are kind of like hanging in the balance where you're not really sure of the direction it's going in. And so that is kind of like playing out for you guys and kind of making you a little bit nervous this month. It's looking like with the Ring card and the Fish card, like I said, it could be a contract, but it can also be a marriage or a relationship where your finances are affecting the nature of the relationship in general. Or you might not be necessarily clear about your finances. You might be afraid of talk regarding your finances. Quite frankly, there does seem to be a loss of some sort, a loss of a job, a loss of a contract, a loss of a commitment. And there does seem to be some sort of worry on your end regarding this. I feel like there's gossip or talk surrounding this ending or this loss, and the talk and the chatter surrounding this loss is causing a lot of confusion, whether it be confusion for you in general or just confusion in your surrounding area, right? Like the people, with the people that are around you or the environment that you're in. So the gossip is kind of affecting you, and it feels like you want to kind of put an end to it. You want to put a stop to it. Some people couldn't be talking about your relationship, or they can be talking about like your position in the job. There might be talk of a contract ending of some sort. And so that might be making you nervous because with the end of the contract, that means that it might be an end of your employment at a particular place. And so that is something that you are worried about. So that's kind of what I see playing out for you guys this month. And I'm going to go ahead and move into using the Rider Waite deck to pull cards for you this month. Okay, so what should a Capricorn look forward to for the month of October? Messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. So, in the center of your reading right now, in your current position, we have the Two of Wands, which is about planning, right? Essentially, some of you might be planning on, or you were planning on taking a trip. So the two of Wands is coming out in the reverse. So for some of you, this could mean that you were planning on taking a trip, planning on expanding certain things in your life, certain aspects of your life, whether you were planning on having children, additional children, or whether you were just going to expand your business. And now it feels like that has kind of come to kind of an end, right? What's crossing that is the Ace of Swords. So something might have come out. There was some sort of truth that was revealed. And so that kind of put the kibosh on your plans. We'll come back to that later and see what that could be. But what happened in the past, right? What happened in the past of the situation? The past is the Knight of Wands. Conscious realm, we have the Seven of Swords. Oops. Seven of Swords. What is happening in the subconscious realm? What is happening in the subconscious realm? So, I mean, it feels like with the Knight of Wands here in the past, that there was the opportunity for a passionate new beginning, right? A passionate new start. You were kind of like starting out new and fresh. And so what looks like occurred here is that you might have been overwhelmed by the options that were presented to you and feeling like some of the things that were presented to you might not have been exactly what was told to you. So there's like a sense here that you feel like there was like a bait and switch. It feels like early on you were excited about it. Here with the Knight of Wands, you had some excitement. You were passionate about it. You were going ahead full gusto, right? And then now you're in the Two of Wands phase. So it feels like a backpedal almost. It feels like whatever was offered to you wasn't necessarily what was given to you. So there was actually, based on the cards that came out earlier, there was a sort of breach of contract. There was a breach of contract. So somebody made a promise to you that they did not live up to. And so that has kind of altered your plans in terms of like moving forward. Subconsciously, we have the King of Swords, right? So at the center of this could have been an individual who is represented here as an air sign. So it could have been a Libra. It could have been an Aquarius. It could have been a Gemini individual. But it feels kind of like the law was kind of involved in the situation. So subconsciously, on the subconscious realm, there's an involvement with someone who is someone who is a master of their craft, this is a legal aspect of the situation. So again, like I said earlier, we had a sense of like breaking a contract. So that is looking like somebody broke a contract and broke their promise or broke their vow to you. And that's kind of like why your plans have been altered this month, or will be altered this month. So for some of you, if this hasn't happened yet, this might be something that occurs for you this month. So in the final outcome, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is a sense, again, it really does feel like you're having to dial back your energy and alter your plans, where Queen phase is not necessarily King phase, right? So it feels like one party involved in the dynamic is more advanced in terms of when it comes to like the legal aspects of it, and one person is more attuned with the work, but the person who is more attuned with the actual work isn't really feeling like they're in control of the dynamic or the situation. And I feel like that might be you. So in terms of like the energy that you're putting into the situation, it feels like you're dialing back on that, but it also feels like a sense of like not necessarily wanting to create or move forward in a space with the situation, because it feels like, again, I think you feel slighted because what you were promised, you're not being given, right? So I'm going to use the Light Seers deck to pull some clarifications for you guys. So, what is the Two of Wands here for? What is the Two of Wands here for in reverse? We have the Ten of Wands. And we have the Knight of Wands again. So again, the Knight of Wands has come out twice. Ugh, I don't know why I keep doing that. Knight of Wands has come out twice. And there's also the Ten of Wands here. So this is a clarification for the Two of Wands in reverse. So ultimately, it does feel like you were ready and willing to put in the work, but it feels like you're carrying most of the burden, right? You're carrying most of the work. So the part of it that belongs to someone else has now become your responsibility, and it's a little bit overwhelming because that was never the deal. Like I said, initially you had this energy of being excited, looking forward to it, really into it. This card is coming out twice, so the passion was definitely there and the willingness was definitely there, but it felt like, well, you kind of feel like they took advantage of the situation and of that work that you're putting in, right? And it feels like in relativity to you deciding to be there and be in a space, like it happened rather quickly. Like you realized this rather quickly, right? And so now you kind of, it feels like you are ready to go. Some of you might be going on a trip again, or planning on taking a trip. Some of you might be kind of like working on your own business ideas and working on trying to just navigate into a space where you're working for yourself. Because I feel like you think at least you can trust yourself, right? You might feel like you kind of want to enter into a new phase, like you're kind of wanting to navigate into a new space. And like I said, some of you might just decide that you need a break and you want to take a trip somewhere to kind of like unwind, to kind of like recalibrate your thinking about the situation. But I also feel like some of you might be in a space where you might be ready to start your own business or start over from scratch, right? What is the Seven of Cups here for? Seven of Cups. Ace of Cups. Three of Wands. Again, the Wand energy, Six of Cups. So, for the clarification, we have the Six of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups, right? And we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So the passion that you had initially, I feel like it is definitely waning. But you do want to start something new. So for some of you, this could really be like a relationship dynamic. It might have been that you initially wanted to start something. You know, you wanted to do the whole family thing. With the Six of Cups here, it feels like a family dynamic. You know, definitely wanting to start out passionately with the situation, but feeling like ultimately you are the one that's bearing the burden of the relationship. And for some of you, this is something that you I don't want to say learned, but it is definitely something of a childhood or like a familial type of thing that you've picked up along the way, meaning that you saw this dynamic in your childhood where one person was doing all of the work, and now it feels like you're in that space also. And for others of you, you felt like in your childhood, people didn't necessarily fight for you as much as you would have wanted them to. And so now you're putting yourself in the position where you're going to do all the fighting that's necessary. But it kind of feels like it's too much, right? It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. You're doing all the work and you feel like overwhelmed. And you are stressed because not only are you taking care of the family aspect, you're also taking care of the financial aspect, and it feels like it's a bit much for you. That's how it's coming across. What is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse here for? What is the Queen of Pentacles? Here for, yeah, you're just giving too much. You're just giving too much, right? You're giving too much away. You know, it feels like you've become the benefactor to other people and to other people's lives, and it feels like it's too much. And so some of you, well, this is you, the Capricorn in reverse, and the Chariot in reverse. So it does feel like you don't want to go forward anymore, right? With the Chariot in reverse, usually when you see the Chariot in the upright, it's an indication to move forward. In the reverse, it feels like you're stopping. So again, some of you could be dealing with a Cancer. Some of you could also be dealing with another Capricorn, or this is your energy, you know, just kind of pulling the brakes on the forward movement. It feels like you might have fallen into old patterns in order to deal with the stress and to deal with the to cope with the issues that you've been going through. And I think you are at the point where you realize that that's not the space that you want to be in. It feels like you're giving away too much of yourself, too much of your energy, into a dynamic that isn't necessarily giving you what you need back in return. So for some of you, this person here could be an attorney that you speak to regarding reneging on your promises. If this is a relationship and this is a marriage situation, you might be contemplating getting a divorce, or you might be contemplating talking to someone in the legal profession regarding a reneging on a contract. Like I said, it could be marriage, but it could also be work. I do feel like this is heavily kind of leaning towards a household, a home situation, right? Okay, Capricorn, I'm so sorry. So we're going to pull some advice cards for you. I mean, some of you could also just be dealing with somebody who's really overbearing, who expects you to do all the work and takes but doesn't really give, right? But we're going to see what the advice is for you guys. What is the advice for Capricorn, Sun, Rising, Venus, and Mercury? Yeah, we have 2 new cards. Let's see. We have a reunion of souls. I hate that light. A reunion of souls. And we have Integration. So let's see what that means. Three. Integration. Okay. So this card says that, I hate this light on here. We are a sum of all of our experiences in this and other lives. We will bring forward a wealth of knowledge, talents, and wisdom. One of the challenges is remembering who we are. We are bombarded every day in every way with messages on who we should be, what we should do, what we should wear, how we should live. These messages coming from the media, society, our family and friends, and even strangers can drown out who we really are meant to be, who we have grown into lifetime after lifetime. Find some quiet moments in your day to identify and start a relationship with that small, strong voice inside you. Pretty soon, you won't hear the other messages. Many times in your interactions with others, you hear that small voice that tells you that something is not right. Your logical mind tells you to stop it. Nothing is wrong. Stop being silly, dramatic, overreacting. You may ignore your inner voice. In a quest to fit in, to be loved or admired, you do not realize that your inner voice is warning you that the other person's energy is not matching their words or their actions. Listen to your instincts about this situation or person. So if you feel like you've been taken advantage of, my dear, you have been. They've completely been taken advantage, right? Which is unfortunate. But you should listen to your instincts about this situation, okay? And I'm so sorry about this light. It's terrible. I'll put the card here. Oh, maybe you can see it like that. No, I'll do this. Okay, so reunion of souls, right? There is a school of thought that says before our souls come to earth, we make contracts or agreements with other souls. At one point in time, we appear in each other's lives to assist those involved in learning a lesson, being a catalyst for needed change, or to share in profound joy. When a person comes into your life to teach you a lesson, no matter the human form, no matter the human experience, this agreement is based in love. The human experience may have been painful and extremely challenging. Acknowledge the depth of love needed for this contract to take place, and then let them go. The experience may have been profoundly moving, but ended abruptly and without reason. Again, be grateful and move on. Cherish the lesson and move forward into your life the way it was meant to be. Alternately, this card signifies a profound soulmate relationship, whether it be lovers, friends, or parents and children. Cherish the gift given. So, ultimately, it does feel like that you should be paying attention to the truths that are going to be coming to you, understanding and accepting the reality of certain situations, processing that, and kind of like letting it go. Everybody is brought into your life for a reason, and sometimes the reason is not for them to stay forever. Sometimes they're here to teach you a lesson that is needed, because a lot of this feels like it's transmuting old childhood patterns or family patterns that make you feel like you have to be linked and connected to certain types of relationships in order to feel validated and in order to feel loved. And sometimes those relationships can be damaging, right? So you don't want to hold on to things that are damaging. You want to work on cultivating a relationship first with yourself, and then with a potential soulmate. But it has to come from a healed place. And ultimately, I feel like if you feel like you're carrying too much of a burden, then you most likely are. And so there needs to be a reevaluation of what is happening in your life and how much energy you're expending or putting into a situation or dynamic that is not feeding your soul. Okay? So that is the end of the reading this month for you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really, really appreciate you. please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and like the video, share the video with a friend who you feel could benefit from the message. Hit the bell for post notifications, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you.